We're standing outside entrance number 3 at the Coca Cola Dome here for the rAge Expo. Actually, that's a tautology. rAge stands for the Really Awesome Gaming Expo. And as you can see from the line behind us, it seems to be quite a popular thing.
And we're here on a Sunday, so join us as we head inside to check out the show. So here we've got retro Ms. Pac-Man, which was released in 1982, which makes it older than I am.
What's interesting here is Ms. Pac-Man was released after the successful launch of Pac-Man in 1980. So it just shows you how timeless video games can be. On the controls is Luke, who seems to be dominating at Pac-Man.
Terribly.
We've caught up with some cosplayers at rAge. You guys look great. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what cosplay is exactly?
Cosplay is a fan art, well, it can be deemed as a fan art, where one dresses up as their favorite character, their favorite idea or concept or anything actually, and you dress up like that and you bring it to life, make it your own.
And you guys built these costumes yourself?
Yes, everything that you see is built from scratch by the cosplayers. It's part of the art of cosplay. We try our hardest to utilize as much materials that we can by ourselves and try not to buy as much materials for us.
Can I just add, you don't always necessarily make your own costume. You can commission parts from other artists or buy costumes. If you buy a costume, it doesn't mean you're not cosplaying, but we personally make all our own costumes.
So tell us a little bit about what you're wearing. Who are you?
Okay, I'm cosplaying Miku. She's a Vocaloid, Hatsune Miku. And the outfit was original made, French-made, anime-inspired, Lolita-inspired design I made myself. So I put an existing character in my own outfit.
Tell us a little bit about your outfit and who you're...
I'm a generic Anbu character from the series Naruto. We're basically the bodyguards of the ninjas, you know. Unfortunately, later on in the series, they kind of become cannon fodder for everyone, but I still like posing with them.
Put your mask on for us for a second. That's kind of scary. And tell us about who you are and what you're wearing.
I'm Mikasa Ackerman from Shingeki no Kyojin, also known as Attack on Titan. I'm a Titan Slayer.
Love the contact lenses.
If you haven't watched Attack on Titan, go check that out as well, and go check out the other Naruto.
Vocaloid.
Great stuff.
What's that? 3 damage. You, ready shot. 9, 7. He hits. Super 6. 2 damage. 5 or 6. Is it quick enough? Yeah. rAge 2019!
I'm here with Nick Hall, who is the chairperson of Make Games SA, an association of game developers and indie developers in South Africa. Mick, tell us a little bit about Make Games SA.
Make Games South Africa is a non-profit organisation. We've been in existence for about 2 years. And yeah, we are the professional body representing game development in South Africa from indies to AAAs, but we don't have any AAAs, so it's just indies now.
So what does being part of Make Games SA mean for an indie developer in South Africa?
Well, we act as a community hub first and foremost, which means is that we'll give you the opportunity to interact and share your ideas and get bounce off your ideas with other developers, which can be hugely beneficial. We obviously we've also got a lot of other softer issues where we liaise with the government to organize funding. We have organized trade missions for developers to go overseas to major conferences like GDC, like E3, like Indicade, to try and give them exposure. Even just providing a stand at rAge. Some of the developers here would never have been able to afford that by themselves, and by being part of Make Games, we can give them that exposure that they wouldn't necessarily have had.
That's awesome. So tell us about some of the developers you've got here today and some of the games that they've got.
Okay, well, I mean, so we've got some sort of old hands, what I would call. We've got Celestial Games here that makes the Toxic Bunny, and we've got some relatively new players to the game. There's Free Lives, which is a studio based in Cape Town, and they're being massively successfully with their one title called Broforce, which is reaching sort of all sorts of critical acclaim in overseas. We have sort of some artists who are just single developers. So Stephen 2, who's made his game called Bear Chuck, and he's a really interesting story. He's an artist. He's been working in game art for a really long time, but through Make Games SA, he's now taught himself how to program, and by himself has made quite an amazing little game. So what else? We've got some really interesting technical games in terms of their game design. There's Cadence, which is a puzzle game that involves you trying to make infinite loops with sound. There's Silhouette, which was made in 48 hours, where one person plays a serial killer and the other person plays a victim trying to escape the serial killer. And the mechanic of it's a real-time turn-based game, if that makes any sense. You'd have to see it to understand it, but it's phenomenal. It's going really well with the crowds, so that's amazing.
So I see some of the names we've got on the board here behind us. We've got System Crash, Death Laser, Desktop Dungeons, Blazing Aces. So these are all some of your
Yes, so
developers.
we've got 15 games on show, and all of them are here. And yes, let's say all representing different industries, different developers in the South African scene, which is fantastic.
Cool, well thanks a lot for chatting to us and we'll check out the games.
Pleasure, thank you.
I'm standing here with Harry from T-Shirt Terrorists, and I thought the stand was cool. I come here every year. I make sure as a point of it to come to you guys to get at least one shirt. Tell me, how did you get into making these kinds of brilliant shirts that have puns on them and stuff?
Well, it was a natural progression. I kind of like a writer for a living, and the ideas started coming, so I put them together, and I generally have a growing range of some pretty cool, rad, random designs.
Quickly walk us through some of your shirt designs so that we can have a showcase.
Yeah, brilliant. This is one of my popular ones. It's my Iron Man. He is doing it right.
I've definitely seen Draft Vader before. I personally bought this one myself.
Yeah, it's one of my personal favorites, my Draft Vader, and it's sort of like glow in the dark.
I dig it a lot. Tell me, where are you guys situated? Where's your main shop?
Randburg Flea Market in Brightwater Commons.
Very cool.
Got an outlet there, yeah.
So I hope the show's been very good for you this year.
Yeah, it's been great. rAge is always great.
I hope to see you here again next year.
right, here we are at the very end of rAge. The visitors are being chased out so the exhibitors can pack up. It's gone deathly quiet in comparison to the rest of the day. But perhaps it's worth just recapping. And so, Luke, starting with you, what do you think was the coolest part of the
I think
expo?
the coolest part of this expo was that we actually got to see the next gen consoles and some of the games that were coming on those consoles.
You like that?
Yeah.
All right. Annie, what did you like?
I really enjoyed the PlayStation 4 preview that we got to see, and the cosplayers were pretty awesome, as was the board games.
And I'm going to round it out by saying congrats to Make Games SA.
Yes.
They came out in force this year, and it's good to see some good support for South African gaming devs. So good job to everybody that made rAge happen, and we hope to see you again next year.